Okay, so this is part 2 of how to answer law exam. Tama. Law school law exam questions. Midterms edition. So tapos na ako dun sa first video for ATAP, Agency Trust and Partnership. Now, I'm gonna read my answers in cream law to celebrate and to, tama ba? Commemorate the success and all. So dati kinatatakutan ko tong cream law. Cream 1 kasi alam kong maraming kakabisaduhin. I have kakilala na bumagsak, so doon ako mas lalo natakot kasi alam kong, bakit matalino naman siya, ba't siya bumagsak or something. Or nahihirapan kasi meron daw mga professors na verbatim talaga pinaparecite yung codal provisions na hindi ko kaya. And in preparation for cream 2, kailangan ma-motivate ako, ma-excite ako na mag-aral. Dahil napakakapal ng libro, di ba? Article 114 to 367. Although, mayroong eksena ngayon, di ba? Na parang papalitan yung mga batas sa RPC. So, let's check. So, shout out again to my classmates, my section. Bidal ako dito. To my co-bidal, na very helpful. And of course, sa professor na nawala yung fear ko of cream 1. And because of you, na medyo, hindi naman siya terror, pero straightforward kasi siya, saka keyword specific siya, na open yung mind ko na dapat pala ganun diskarte. Hindi pwedeng puro Miss Universe answer. And I'll have a better motivation to study cream 2. Okay, so first question niya, define mala insa and mala prohibita. So, syempre naintindihan ko siya in concept. Pero since keyword specific siya, so sa mga next reviewer ko, dapat ma-hit ko yung mga certain elements or mga gusto, katulad nito, that in mala inse, good faith can be used as a defense. Nabasa ko to, nandun to sa PowerPoint reviewer ko, pero hindi ko siya nasagot kasi the general Miss Universe answer na mala inse are acts or crimes that are inherently bad or immoral in its nature. So, sabi niya, given na yon. So, generally, crimes penalized and punished in our revised penal code falls in this category, like murder, theft, and the likes. While mala prohibita are acts or omissions that is punishable by law because the law says so. Generally, offenses are defined in our special penal laws. It is the specific law that determines the legality or wrongness of the act in contrast to the inherent nature found in mala inse. So, 3 points lang out of 5 kasi ang gusto niya, defense of, ano yun? Not in bad faith. Can be used in mala inse. Okay, question number 2. Yung argument lacks merit. So, alak method ako. Under our laws, criminal law, specifically in territoriality principle applies. Article 2 of RPC, so dahil medyo kabisado ko, nag-cite ako ng provision. Wow, galing. States that those living and sojourning in the Philippines are binded to our criminal laws. To add, the crime or act committed by A is covered by the same article as it deals with forgery of our Philippine currency. Here, A, being a Filipino citizen and presently in the Philippine territory for vacation, having been identified in counterfeiting and forgery of Philippine peso, we can apply jurisdiction for criminal case under Article 2 of the RPC using extraterritoriality principle of our criminal laws. Kasi nga, si A ay Filipino citizen, tapos gumagawa sila ng peking pera in Hong Kong. Nagbakasyon siya dito kasama yung jowa niya na Espanyol. Tapos yun. So, 3. Mahaba yung sagot ko. Baka gusto niya short lang, but at least 3. Okay na yun. Then, namali ako dun sa kasama niyang Espanyola dahil ang kailangan ng keyword doon ay sojourning. So, ngayon, I gained weight 3 kilos. Nag-breakfast ako kanina. Donut, kape, isang dokito. Tapos nag-lunch kami sa peri-peri. Naka 1.5 rice ako. Tapos, may mango royal pa ako. And then now, nagluto ng munggo. And I'm craving adobo. Yesterday pa. Mali pala, munggo. So, kakain ako. Pangatlong beses kakain ko to. Kinda depressing, but Sige na nga, magre-review naman ako ngayon. Advanced review for Cream 2, kahit hindi pa naka-enroll. So, yun, ang sagot ko. Then, item number 3, AB, the charge is not correct. Theft is a formal crime. So, parang nakuha na ito yung may nagnakaw na kinuha nila yung detergent tapos nahuli sila sa parking. So, specific case to. So, na-hit ko naman. 5 naman yung binigyan na points. Theft is a formal crime once the accused got hold. Actually, ang ginamit ko ay get hold. So, parang grammatically incorrect siya. Get hold of the object with their intent to gain. The felony is already consummated. Having the ability to dispose the goods is not a factor to consider. Is not a factor to considered. So, mali na naman ako dito. Bakit ako nag-past tense dito? It's not a factor to consider in the commission of theft. Here, X and Y, with the intention to gain the detergent, cases, and discernment to commit an unlawful act, committed theft already upon hauling it in the parking area and unloading it and loading it to the taxi afterwards. Under our laws, there is no frustrated theft. Hence, the charge is incorrect. No, the charge is incorrect. Under our laws, for a frustrated homicide to occur, the perpetrator should do or perform all the overt acts necessary to produce the result of the felony intended, to which the result did not materialize due to the actions independent of his own will, missing the aim and not inflicting any fatal or mortal wound. So, I think kaya ako tumama dito yung salitang fatal or mortal wound. Kahit sobrang haba ng sagot ko. Keyword specific kasi si Prof. A was not able to perform all acts for homicide to materialize. Here, the charge, homicide, being a frustrated one, is incorrect as it lacks all the elements or requisite to be considered in the frustrated stage. So, dapat attempted lang. Kasi parang nadaplisan lang siya sa tenga. So, 4. Actually, hinulaan ko to. Kasi hindi ko nabasa masyado. What is real aggression and imminent aggression? So, ang sagot ko, real aggression occurs when there is an active use of weapon, physical acts by the perpetrator to their victim that endangers the life and safety of the victim involved. Example is stabbing using a knife or choking the victim by hands. 5 points. Imminent aggression is actions leading to a threat to someone's life, safety, limbs, by direct manifestation from the aggressor, showing intent to harm the victim based on events. Example can include aiming a pistol, open and close parenthesis, loaded, to the victim or running towards the victim with a knife in hand after a provocation. So, dahil hindi ako sure dito sa sagot ko, diba, dinala ko sa example. So, lumaban naman. 9 out of 10. So, minsan talaga, para-paraan discarte. Question 5. No, the defense is not meritorious. Our law provides that acting without discernment on the part of the minor accused, fundamental to be exempted. Barok ang English. Minsan may mga prof na particular sa tenses mo sa grammar bro. So, dapat minor accused is fundamental to be exempted from criminal liability. So, dito yung bata, plinano niyang patayin, barilin, nagtago siya, inantay niya yung kaaway niya na namubuli sa kanya. From hapon hanggang gabi, nagdilim, nagtago siya sa isang puno or bush, tapos binaril niya. Tapos, after niyang binaril, tinago niya yung baril. So, kahit minor siya, parang 13 years old, nag-act siya with discernment, so dapat makukulong pa rin yung, tama ba? Makukulong pa rin yung bata, or parang the case would continue. Walang exemption ng criminal liability. Here, A, even if being a minor, acted with discernment to harm and kill B, the evidence by his actions of taking out the gun, mali, my gosh! Magagalit yung English teacher ko. What is toking? Like, bakit ako, ang bobo. T-O-O-K-I-N. It should be taking. Taking out the gun. Oh my God, nakakahiya. Sasabihin ng prof, ano ba yan? Basic English. So, taking out the gun from his father's safe, showing awareness that the weapon used can lead to death, hiding for a spot to wait for his fellow. So parang kung ano yung nasa case, ginastify ko lang. Inulit ko lang siya. Hiding for a spot to wait for his felonious act to be committed, and his act to hid the gun. Shit, ang sabaw ko dito. Bakit? Mali to. Dapat to hide the gun. To hide the gun in a place hard to find. Evident. Oh my, bakit barok-barok ang English ko dito? Hard to find evidence. Dapat his act to hide the gun in a place hard to find. Anong flow of thoughts ko dito? Bakit may salitang hard to find? As evidence. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. But ganito, siguro na-excite ako pero nakakahiya. Anyway, binigyan niya ako ng 5. His collective action indicates that A, acting with discernment as he knows what is good or bad and how to accomplish his goal of harming B without being caught or associated with it. Napakahaba na sagot. His defense will not be accepted as valid grounds for exemption of criminal liability just because of his minority. So, thank you, Prof. Considerate ka. Pinopointsan ba yung grammar? Defects, English. Oo nga, dapat may minus points kasi tsaka yung English, barok. Mali pa yung mga tenses. Nakakahiya. Okay, anong next question? The defense of insanity is not meritorious. So, nung hinatulan na lang siya, saka siya nagsabi na baliw na siya. Under our law and jurisprudence, insanity cannot be used as defense for exemption of criminal liability when invoked after acts that clearly depicts discernment, intent, and lucidity. Insanity should be proved and supported by previous medical or psychiatrical records and previous act that supports case of insanity. So, okay lang. Here, A acted based on emotions, producing obfuscation, hence the killing of his wife. Therefore, he cannot be exonerated for his crimes using insanity as a defense. So, parang nahuli niya nakikipag-sex yung asawa niya tapos bigla niyang pinatay. Tapos, yun. Sinabi niya na baliw lang siya. No? 6. These are what is battered wife syndrome. So, definition. Perfect. Bongga. So, eto kinabisado ko talaga. Ang sabi ko dito, these are scientifically patterned psychological and behavioral symptoms found in women living in a battering situation through cumulative action from the perpetrator. It is a cycle of incident that affects the emotional, physical, and psychological well-being of the victim. So, the different stages are tension building, acute battering, tranquil phase. Dinefine ko pa kung ano yon, pero ang tanong lang pala, definition ng battered wife syndrome and what are the 3 stages. Kaya parang nagsabi siya na, pag hindi tinatanong, huwag nyo nang sagutin. Huwag nyo nang i-define. O, parang gusto lang niya yun, i-enumerate lang. Pero dahil pabibo tayo, bumawi naman doon. Yes, this is an aggravating circumstance. Under Article 14 of the Revised Penal Code, crimes committed in the presence of the President of the Philippines becomes an aggravating circumstance in addition to lack of respect, including public officials. Here, A, punching B, violated sa stipulation of the law because President Bongbong Marcos, being the head of the state of the country and also a public official himself, barok na naman yung English ko dito. Parang basta may nagsuntukan sa harap ng presidente sa isang inaugural or ceremony. Aggravating circumstance will apply to the case of B. 7. No, the charge is not meritorious. Under our law, if there are mitigating circumstances, it can cancel or decrease the aggravating circumstances present. Both circumstances will be considered by the court. Also, murder involves intentional killing and premeditation on the part of the accused. Here, the girl first did not premeditate. Dapat premeditated or planned to kill anyone must specifically. What? Bakit ganito yung English ko? Must specifically the guy when she entered the chapel. Ayun, sinaksak niya sa chapel. Magiging aggravating circumstance daw ba yon? So, eto yung kay, Huwarge? Basta si Avelina, yung case nila. And then, Second, to defend her honor from the acts of the guy. She acted due to passion and obfuscation to fight for her honor. So, mitigating yon. Having two mitigating circumstances, it is not proper for these to be ignored. So, yeah. Action due to passion and obfuscation, and then defense of honor. The charge for murder is incorrect, and the consideration of the act committed in a place of worship not meritorious to the case. So, kinonsider naman yan. Question 8. So, A can use the defense that instigation occurred. So, sa drug, by bust. So, dalawa sila. Yung isa, inutusan ng pulis. Yung isa naman, na-entrap. So, A does not have the criminal intent to perform the felonious act and was only induced by the police officers. The criminal intent did not originate from himself and will not do otherwise. If not approached by the PDEA team. Our jurisprudence ruled that when done under investigation, the accused will be acquitted. Barak-barak ang mag-English dito, nakakaloka. So, the other one naman, yung entrapment, B, on the other hand, cannot use the defense of instigation from the case of A. Because B, being fully aware and acting with discernment to commit felony by selling shabu, his criminal intent and acts originated from himself. It was only entrapment that the PDEA and A use as ruse and scheme to capture him doing the illegal activity, hence his life. So, feeling ko yung mga keywords niya, magic words, kaya okay yung mga grades na binigay niya sa akin. 9. No, the charge will not prosper. We have general principle we follow in our laws applicable to criminal law that there is no crime when there is no law punishing it. Parang inciting to murder. Also, mental acts, oral statements are not punishable unless it leads to overt act of felony or the law states where proposal is punishable. In example, in cases of coup d'etat, treason, or rebellion. Here, the campaign manager did not commit any crimes as there is no law punishing proposal to commit murder. The campaign manager will be acquitted of the charge. And then 9B, yes, there is still liability for it. Under our RPC, mere proposal to commit certain punishable acts will be dealt by the law, even if the other person does not agree to it. Here, coup d'etat is one of those acts that are punishable by our RPC. To include mere proposal will have criminal liability. So even if the other person rejected the proposal, since this deals with coup d'etat, a person who proposed it will be liable criminally. 5 points. And then, no, praeter intentionem will not be appreciated. Appreciating the collective acts is important in determining if the elements of praeter intentionem is valid as a defense and also if it becomes a mitigating circumstances. Here, Laura. So sabi ni Prof, kabisadohin namin yung case ni Laura, yung bata na itinaob niya sa box ng Marlboro. Tapos pinasakan niya ng stockings or ng medyas. Diba? Yaya siya ng bata. Tapos nanghingi siya ng ransom. Pero sa totoo lang patay niya yung bata nung iniwan niya. Here, Laura, through her action of stuffing or tying stockings to the mouth of Totoy, putting him. Shit, barok talaga yung English. Dapat putting his head. Nakakahiya. Sasabihin nito, ano to? Para to nakagraduate ng elementary. Putting his head down inside a box. She knew this will lead to suffocation and death to the child. Her deliberate action and intention is to kill the child. So, praeter intentionem will not be appreciated in this case. Pero 5 points pa rin. So, thank you. Then, ano daw yung mga elements dito na naging aggravating? Abuse of confidence, disrespect to the age of the victim, use of superior strength against the victim, and treachery. So, 5 points. Tapos, pinadefine niya. Bakit? In abuse of confidence, being the housemaid, nag-explain pa ako. Pero pinapa-enumerate lang niya. So, para pabibo tayo, sumagot tayo. In abuse of confidence, being the housemaid, she used her position of trust from the parents of Totoy in belief that she is taking good care of the child and will not do harm to him. In this baka pina-explain niya, explain briefly. In disrespect to the age of Totoy, Laura used her authority and maturity to inflict harm to a child who is very impressionable and who lacks proper intelligence and maturity to defend himself or avoid harm. In the use of superior strength, Laura, being an adult woman, she has more physical capability and force to do harm to the child who is frail in body and nature. And in treachery, by putting stockings on the mouth of the child, tying its mouth and placing the child head down inside the carton box, she made sure that the child cannot escape from it and will eventually die from suffocation. Having the advantage of not inflicting harm to herself, this is considered treacherous in nature. And yeah. At naubos ko. Kamunti ang maubos. Ang 23 pages ba? 22. Sinunitara akong isa dalawa. And it yielded good results. So yes, you can answer Miss Universe. You can answer based on your understanding, but some professors will require you verbatim or specific keywords before they can give you full credits to your answer. Or yung iba, papa-identify talaga anong specific provision of the law, anong article yan, ganyan. So, iba-iba. Kailangan basahin mo yung professor mo. But, at the end of the day, learning is learning. It comes in all forms. And yun, I realize na dapat pala mindful ako sa pagsagot ko kasi nakakahiya. Basic tenses, syntax, yung mga, ano tawag doon, mga conjunctions ko, kung ano yung is, ganyan, past tense, nakakahiya yung sagot ko, but at least, pasado. So, that's how I answer. That's how I do my exams. Basta malaga na naintindihan ko siya. I may not follow the pattern of the professor or the school or the other classmates that, you know, who are doing well or how they answer, or yung gusto ng prof na short, concise, direct hit to answer. But, well, that's me. And I love me. So, as long as it's working, di ba? Why fix if something's not broken or if it's working? But, yun nga, mas magiging seryoso ako sa pag-aaral. Magre-review talaga, magbabasa, gagawa ng notes, and try kong magkabisa. Kasi kung ano man ang topic sa Cream 2, baka mas technical siya. Sabi din ng mga kakilala ko na dapat talaga kabisaduhin yung mga elements because naiiba yung crime pag naiba yung element. So, I'll be more cautious and particular with that. But yeah, that's it. So, I hope sa mga makapanood ng video na to, you know now how law school works in a way, how to answer if you can survive. And yun nga, kung ako nagkakamali, nagbarok yung English ko pero binibigyan pa rin ng 5 points ng prof, may chance pa talaga. Kailangan lang talaga pakita mo na nagbabasa ka, nag-iisip ka, may comprehension ka, you can apply the principles. You may not cite the verbatim or the specific provisions or kung anong article yan, but maiko-connect mo kasi lalo na sa mga hypothetical cases. But this professor, ilan to? Parang 3 case yung case specific na kung ano yung diniscuss namin sa classroom, kung ano yung nasa syllabus, lumabas dito. Nasa interpretation mo lang yun. Kaya, makinig ka lang, magbasa ka lang. Tapos, yung pag-intindi, it will follow. But what's important is you really read, then wala ka naintindihan, read again, wala ka naintindihan, listen to the discussion, and then, nahirapan ka pa rin intindihan, ask the right questions. Ask your classmates or do a group study para kung ano yung pagkakaintindi nila, pag hindi yun ang pagkakaintindi mo, then there's a disconnect. Tapos kung ano yung pagkakaintindi mo, tapos nag-agree sila sa'yo, then it means you learn the same thing. It means most probably you are correct in your understanding. And that's just it. Tapos, yun. Kaya totoo yun. Read. And then, make a review. So, kaya ko yung sabihin, RK, read, and review, and be more, hindi puro GL card. Anyway, so kain yan na, 7:41, and that's it, bye!